Hello, this is a broadhead test for low KE or low poundage bows. It's a condensed version. I published one a couple of weeks ago that's pretty detailed, and some folks found there's too much information, which in my world you can't get too much information, but a lot of people like it more condensed, so I'm trying to do that. And so this is for hunting archers with less powerful bows. My name is Joe Marzullo, Archer 1941 on YouTube. The question always arises as to which broadhead will perform best for deer hunting. Now, we all have seen many advertisements with glowing terms. This is an actual test of many broadheads that will provide data with measurable performance details and figures, not just adjectives. I tested a total of 16 broadheads, 3 of which of those are mechanical. The data indicates that mechanical broadheads are not good for low KE broadheads. The static penetration force was way too high. The 13 fixed blade broadheads are listed in order for all measurable data. Some readers, again, have asked for the data to be listed in order of importance. So here's what I believe to be that order of importance. Number 1 is sharpness. If it's not sharp, you don't cut things. If you don't cut things, then you'll make a less vulnerable wound. Next is a static penetration force. You don't want a broadhead that's going to take a lot of force just to get through the one side. So that's important. And the third one is durability against the leg bone. That's for deer hunting, that's the most substantial bone you're going to hit. So all broadheads tested passed the durability test against a simulated leg bone. Not an actual leg bone, but as close as I could get to what that density is, that's what I tested it against. All the broadheads also flew very accurately to 20 yards with regard to a field point. They all hit within 1 inch of that point. So it's important to note that all the broadheads, the point was adjusted to 150 grain point weight, which makes the FOC pretty high, which also provides great stability when you're shooting a broadhead. The fleshing will want to straighten that arrow out very quickly. It's a good thing. All the broadheads had at least 1.3 inches of cutting width, not cutting diameter, which is a circle. That's how broadheads should be measured, by cutting width, not diameter. I don't know where that came from. All the data sheets will be available for you to download via a hyperlink, which is located at the video's conclusion and the YouTube comments section. I couldn't embed it in the video for you to use, but you can. At least what I found, you could get the hyperlink to work if you're on YouTube. You can click on it and it seemed to work. So after this, I'm going to show you a few videos, a few pictures as well. This is a list of all the broadheads and categorized and sorted by blade sharpness on the column on the far right, which is here. You'll see how many ounces it took to part the thread that I use, which is just a carpet thread, very, very consistent medium. And you'll see how they perform with one to another. Now this list is by penetration force, static penetration force, and the value is in pounds, where in the blade sharpers it was in ounces. This is the pounds it takes to penetrate a deer hide, and you'll see they're in order of the least amount of force to the maximum amount of force. You see why on the bottom all the mechanicals use a huge amount of force just to penetrate one side. It's not appropriate for low poundage bows at all. Earlier I discussed the difference between cutting width and cutting diameter. I think cutting diameter is not correct way to evaluate a broadhead's ability to do damage when it hits its cutting width. See on the first one, here's a 1.1 cutting diameter, and it's a 1.1 cutting width as well. This is 3 blades, still 1.1, 1.68 inches of cutting width, and here's a 4-bladed head that's 1.1 this way and 900 thousandths this way, a total cutting width of 2.1 inches, a huge difference. So you be cognizant of cutting width. That's the important measure of a broadhead, not cutting diameter. It's an inaccurate description of its cutting lethality. Now here's all the broadheads I tested. They're in no particular order, but they are signed on a little tablet underneath it that tells you what it is. These are all the broadheads I actually shot into the simulated deer bone, and they all survived it. You can see not a blade broken. That doesn't mean it won't break while hitting a deer bone on a side or some weird angle. There's no one test that's going to explain that, but they all survived that test, and I think that's a tribute to the broadhead manufacturers. They at least survived that. So there they are. Establish the sharpness of a blade. Now, in order to do that, you have to have some reference to what is sharp. So my point of view was the best thing would be an X-Acto blade, because everyone can get their hands on one, and then do the same test themselves if you wish. I have an adapter right here that I made that has the thread, see it, very, very taut in there, so it's not going to move. And I used carpet thread, because carpet thread is very, very consistent. That industry, thread industry, makes a very consistent product. So here's my gauge. I'm going to zero it, and we're going to move it forward, and we're going to record what it takes to actually part that. Here it goes, getting close. There it goes. What do we have? About 2.5, 2.3 ounces. Pretty darn sharp. Broadhead force in action. It's powered by this electric drill through a 3/16 rod. Pushes this sled with a gauge on it. We're going to zero that gauge. Right now it's best down to 0. On the front of that is a broadhead, and here's the cardboard we're going to pierce. So let's start it, and you can see what it looks like. Let's start in penetrate. Here we go. There's the penetrating force for that particular broadhead. Almost 16 pounds. And resistance of a deer's leg bone. And it's schedule 40, about 2-inch diameter PVC pipe. And it'll be shot into this PVC pipe. So this concludes the broadhead test, the condensed version with a lot less information. I also provided my estimates of what the best broadheads are for low KE, low poundage broadheads. There's a lot of information available if you use the hyperlink at the end of the video. You'd probably have to be on your PC or your phone or something and choose the hyperlink. That'll bring you to a lot of information. And for information junkies like myself, that's what I like. But here's my conclusions. The three best broadheads, okay, number 2 and number 3 are the G5 Strikers in 100 and 125. So the difference is not the 25 grains, the difference is the design of the ferrule. This one has little relief flutes on it, and this one, the 125, does not. This broadhead penetrated a pound or so less force than this one because of that design. So I would recommend this one. Shoot it at 150 grains still, because the FOC is definitely in your favor. The number 1 broadhead, in my opinion, based on the data, is the Wasp Sharpshooter at 150 grain. This one, cut on contact, very sharp, not quite as sharp as this, but damn close. And the penetration force was the lowest of the bunch. I like this one very much, and I would recommend this one highly for any bow with low KE and low KE and low poundage. So take a look at the end of the video on the comments. You'll have to look at that on your PC or your phone or whatever, and there's a hyperlink that'll enable you to go to a file that I have available for you that has a lot of information. Not everyone appreciates that much information, but it's there. Go through it and draw your own conclusions, and I hope this helps all of you. And thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Bye.